protecting me, you're hurting me.
What?
I said.
You just assaulted me.
Good. You're hurting me.
What do you mean?
Was your WCS on your person during this incident?
I did have it on.
Okay, and how come you didn't activate it?
I was told not to.
By who? Did you turn it on?
No, I did not.
And why is that?
We were told initially from the captain not to turn them on.
From a lying police captain who stole personal property to a jaw-dropping deposition where his own subordinates turned against him, today we'll be going through one of the most jaw-dropping cases which ultimately resulted in the removal of the corrupt cop and caused the city a massive lawsuit. On August 15th, 2019, brothers Joe and John went to a festival carrying their guitar as they usually did, and they started to perform on the sidewalk. However, the Cleveland police officers quickly approached them, asking them to pack up and leave.
Okay, he's not touching it.
You guys are.
You want to let go of your...
We're not touching it.
That's too tight.
Okay, let me undo it.
That's too tight.
Relax.
Let go.
That's too tight.
Let me undo it. Relax.
Hey, why are you guys touching?
Why are you touching us?
This is illegal.
That's illegal.
We didn't.
Touching us.
Calm down so they don't say that you're doing anything. Just calm down. You know that.
What are you doing?
You think the louder you yell, something's gonna change?
Why are you doing this?
You have the right.
Why are you doing this?
We're protecting you.
Protecting me, you're hurting me.
What?
The louder you yell,
You
something's
just
gonna change.
assaulted me.
Good. You're hurting me.
What do you
Step
mean?
back.
Good.
Step back.
Yeah, you got that too
what?
tight. It's too tight.
What are you doing?
Loosen it.
Let go of some of this shit.
Let go of that.
Loosen it.
Let go of some of this stuff.
Loosen the cuffs. Loosen the cuffs.
They will.
Yeah.
Loosen the cuffs.
Shut up.
Loosen the cuffs. Loosen the cuffs.
Well, you're...
Loosen it.
There's nothing wrong. You can stick two fingers in there.
Loosen the cuffs. Loosen the cuffs. Stop. What are you doing? Ow. What are you doing?
As they were complying, they encountered corrupt police captain James DeZuba, who suddenly began arresting them. Both brothers were handcuffed and taken to the police cruiser. And in a shocking twist, every officer's body camera was muted except for one, Officer Tomero's.
I should be eating french fries over there. Instead, I gotta touch his filthy, nasty guitar. Just cooperate. Just let it go.
Dude, that's my phone.
Let it go. We'll put it in your bag. Which bag is this?
Being recorded.
I guess it goes in the property. Hold on. I'm done with my contact.
Now, Captain Zuba took control of Joe's phone, the same phone that had recorded the entire encounter. Shortly after, Officer Tomero's body cam shut off just as the captain approached to speak with him. Eventually, the brothers were charged with disorderly conduct. Here's how the judge responded, siding firmly with the victim.
So you're playing the guitar on Mayfield and they said you can't do that?
He was playing his guitar outside. They were arrested.
For playing this guitar? Were you intoxicated?
No.
So you just playing the guitar? And the police just came up to you and just arrested you. Took your cell phone and did all that because you was playing the guitar. Okay, something not right about that.
As expected, the charge was dismissed within minutes. However, during the proceedings, the brothers revealed that their phone, which had recorded the entire incident, was never returned. When questioned, the department denied ever taking it. But the body cam footage told a different story and could not be ignored. Shortly after, detectives arrived at the brothers' home to investigate what had really happened that day.
Number 4, I'm like 80% sure that's him. Sorry.
You can just sign it and write what percentage you believe that's and who do you think that is?
Captain Zuba.
Okay.
This is clearly Bush.
Okay, what percentage are you sure?
100%.
Okay. From here, we gather any facts we can. We're gonna go to Little Italy to see if there's any surveillance footage there.
Okay.
Stuff like that. And we present the facts to a prosecutor, and the prosecutor will determine if the officers committed a crime or not.
This here is one of the bike I had. That they returned that and the guitars, no problem.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, aside from your cell phone, they gave you everything else back. Just your cell phone was not in your bag or nothing like that.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to be accusatory, but it was kind of wrong what happened, man. And I think they might have destroyed the cell phone because of the evidence of him assaulting me on it.
Well, this information was enough to kickstart an internal investigation against the department and the officers involved in the arrest. As a result, Officer Carey was called in and asked some tough questions.
Scott Carey, badge number 2400.
Officer Carey, prior to beginning the interview, you had a chance to review the order to submit to an administrative interview form. Did you understand the form?
Yes, sir.
Any questions about the form?
No, sir. I tried to do crowd control, mainly
Okay.
as with 2 other officers as we approached. So I didn't get to see like the initial encounter.
Okay. Did you witness Captain DeZuba use any force on either of the males?
No, sir.
Did you witness Captain DeZuba take either of their cell phones away?
They did arrest them. Yeah, I saw the arresting part, but there was no force. I don't.
Okay. They were just handcuffed?
Yes.
Do you know why they were arrested? Or did you know why at the time, why they were being arrested?
Disorderly.
Okay. Did you witness that, or did you just...
No, that, like I said, we came upon that like probably in the middle of the incident.
Okay.
While the officer restricted speaking the truth, but the issue of muting your body cam appeared, he didn't take any longer to put his captain under the bus.
I'm just going to ask you this because I asked everybody else. This is a picture of the 3rd District property book. I highlighted the line there. Is that your handwriting, or did you write that in the book?
I didn't handle any of it.
Okay.
And no, that's not my handwriting.
Okay. When you put something in the property book, do you make a tag in LERMS for it? Put an entry in LERMS and print out a tag?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was your WCS on your person during this incident?
I did have it on.
Okay, and how come you didn't activate it?
I was told not to.
By who?
The captain.
Okay, and when did he tell you that?
The beginning, before we got dropped off.
Okay, so when you got dropped off to work the feast,
Yeah.
he said you don't need to turn your
we
cameras
were-
on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and that, did you interpret that as no matter what happened, you shouldn't turn your camera on?
I was interpreted, yeah. I mean, hey, don't turn the cameras on.
Okay.
And we didn't.
All right.
We're good.
Is there anything you want to add before we conclude?
No, sir.
You got anything?
No.
Turning off body cams during an arrest is a serious offense, and things were about to go from bad to worse for Captain DeZuba, as Officer Dorner was next to be called in for questioning, who wasn't going to hide the truth.
Did you have your WCS on you at the time?
Did I have it on me or turned on?
On you.
On me, yes, I had it on me.
Did you turn it on?
No, I did not.
And why is that?
We were told initially from the captain not to turn them on, and then I was thinking we were off duty, so we didn't think we had to have them on.
Okay, and what made you think you were off duty?
I mean, we were just told it was kind of not a secondary employment, but we weren't actually working, like not working for the district, but we were working kind of, we all filled out overtime cards, so.
It was a detail.
It was a detail, I guess you could say.
Okay. But Captain DeZuba, was it while this incident was going on with these guys?
No, I believe when we first got off, it's hard to remember, but I believe when we first got off the bus and we all kind of like conjugated and we were talking about who's working where, he said, you don't need to turn your cameras on because it's like, he said a detail.
Okay. All right. Anything else? No. Okay. Do you remember anything else about this incident that I didn't ask about?
No.
Okay. I'm just going to ask you because I asked everyone else. This highlighted line there, is that your handwriting?
No.
Okay. Do you know whose handwriting that is?
No.
Okay.
No.
If you would have put this in the book, would you have put an entry in LERMS and printed out a tag for the property?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
We're good.
You got anything else you want to ask these guys about anything you talked about? Come back? Okay.
Like the others, Officer Messina was the last to be interviewed, and he followed the same pattern, directly naming the captain as the one who instructed them to turn off their body cams. Now, at that point, detectives began to realize that the corrupt captain had likely taken the phone to erase the footage of the arrest.
2 guys were arrested. They were playing their guitars and had a confrontation with Captain DeZuba. Do you remember witnessing any of that?
Bits and pieces, not much.
Okay. Did you witness when the officers initially approached the guys when they were playing on the...
No, sir.
Okay. Did you witness any other interaction with Captain DeZuba?
Minimal.
Okay.
Very minimal.
Did you see either of these 2 guys trying to record Captain DeZuba with their cell phone?
Record Captain Zubin? No.
Okay.
I saw them recording the officers as they were walking away from us because we were at the top of the hill.
Okay.
We were walking down and they were walking away from us. So they were recording and then everybody kind of became a crowd.
Okay. Did you witness Captain DeZuba use any sort of reportable force?
No, sir.
Okay. The guy complained that Captain DeZuba grabbed his hand he was recording in and twisted his arm. Did you witness anything like that?
I did not.
Okay. Were you present when the males were being handcuffed?
Yes, but I was way behind the officer, so I didn't see anybody. I didn't see who did handcuffing or where they were handcuffed at.
Did you witness any of the officers with either of the male cell phones?
Negative.
Okay. And did you walk back to the prisoner van?
I did.
Okay. Did you witness whether or not these guys identified themselves?
I did not witness that, no.
Okay. Were you present when they were issued minor misdemeanor citations?
I was not.
Okay.
I only created a path to the van with the guys.
Did you have a WCS camera on that day?
I did have it with me, yes.
And why wasn't it activated during the incident?
Normally, like, we never really used them at the feast. I've done it a few times, but also Captain told us no cameras.
When did he say that?
Right around the time the gentlemen were being arrested, or prior to, right around there, people were like, no, everybody just kept saying no cameras. Like, Captain said no cameras. I got a no camera sign, so I didn't turn mine on. I didn't turn it off.
Okay. Do you know why he said that? Is there a reason, or?
No, I didn't question it. Anytime somebody higher up says no camera, I turn it off.
Okay.
Or don't activate.
After hearing the officers' accounts, detectives called in the central figure himself, Captain Dzuba, whose sense of entitlement was evident from the very beginning.
How these two brothers, the Workman brothers, first came to your attention and what actions you took as it relates to these two complaints, Joseph and Jonathan Workman.
I believe I answered that in the previous interview.
Okay, so you stated then that you were coming to the scene and you encountered these gentlemen, and the officers who were in the area of these two individuals informed you that they had been placed under arrest. Is that still your
Yes,
statement
sir.
today?
Yes, sir.
And do you recall which officer or officers informed you that they had been under arrest at that point?
Bush.
Bush did that. Officer Bush was interviewed by Sergeant Sheehan by the City of Cleveland Division of Police Internal Affairs Division, and during that interview, he stated that that he had not placed them under arrest, nor cited them, and had no intentions of doing so. And it was his understanding that you ordered him to do so. Would that statement by Officer Bush be accurate?
No.
Okay, so his saying that to Officer Sheehan in this recorded interview, would he be mistaken in that or lying about that?
I would imagine he's just mistaken.
The captain's attitude shifted immediately when detectives showed him CCTV footage, making it clear they knew exactly what had happened during the arrest. It was a turning point in the interrogation.
And correct me, I mean, you weren't there, but these are officers, and the complaints are right here in this, like, kind of on the sidewalk on the doorway. And per the officer's statements to Internal Affairs, they were these individuals that they were not allowed to play their guitars there. If you know, is it unlawful for individuals to play their guitars in a public area like that?
In the feast is permitted. The church regulated all entertainment.
And so a violation of this church's rule, would that be a criminal offense?
As far as I understand, yes.
Because within the city of Cleveland, isn't it lawful to do the act they were doing? If had it not been for the church prohibition against that, would their actions be lawful?
As long as they weren't obstructing.
Right, and so
The captain started to get riled up when he was questioned by the detectives, as if he considered himself above everyone else. Watch how the clown shows a pathetic understanding of the law and the Constitution.
So he's riding his bike away and officers are still here. So at this point, Captain Dzuba, would you feel that these officers had placed him under arrest at that point, or concluded they would be arrested?
I don't know.
But on your interpretation of what you see here, them riding away their bikes and the officers not pursuing them in any way, or even really looking in their direction as they're leaving out? I think that's highly unlikely that they're under arrest when they're still here and they're leaving at this point.
Are they approaching the captain, or is the captain approaching them, though?
They're approaching each other. They're heading in the
Okay.
same direction.
All right.
I don't know how you could.
Well, that's what I mean. Do we know?
They were approaching each other, yes. And then they're going to be taken. One is going to be taken that way by an officer, as you can see. They'll take his bike, and Jonathan Workman is going to be placed against the wall there, and they will be handcuffed. It's highly unlikely that the officers would let them pedal off on their bikes and create that sort of separation without even really looking in their direction. But more importantly, these same officers have already given statements that these individuals were not under arrest at that point. That Officer Bush, who Captain Zuba said informed him that they were under arrest, stated something just to the contrary, that he had, not only were they not under arrest or had been cited, he had no intentions on doing so because they left. That was his statement.
Another lie of the captain was exposed, as the guitarists weren't arrested earlier. It was this psycho who had escalated the situation and made the unlawful arrest. Watch how he starts to stutter as he realizes he has messed up badly.
Patrol Officer Bush says he arrested him under the order of Captain Zuba. He didn't know why. And the other officer said, I don't know what act of disorderly conduct they committed. It had to have happened after the initial encounter at where they were playing the guitars. They said it had to happen. The disorderly conduct had to be something that happened when they encountered.
Well, that's why I was asking.
And that's what these 6-7 officers all say that same thing.
They go to him or Captain DeZuba. Obviously, somebody tells him that's why he's coming there.
Well,
or no?
Captain DeZuba here today said Officer Bush told him that, and Officer Bush.
I know, but can we go back and ask the questions again? He just made a comment that Officer Bush said to arrest him, but you didn't go over anything as far as where was he when he finds out, what did he find out was wrong? He's telling you that Officer Bush said they were under arrest.
And the officers who were involved in that initial encounter all state that they were free to go, that they weren't placed under arrest, nor were they going to be cited. And that subsequent to that, Captain DeZuba ordered them to arrest them and cite them.
No, that is not true. I didn't order anybody to arrest anybody.
Right, that was my question. So those officers who said that,
those are the
they had to be mistaken or lying, because that's what they consistently all say.
After being thoroughly exposed, the captain could only resort to making weak arguments, even attempting to point out loopholes in the Constitution.
That Bush or whomever said they were under arrest at this point, that is not consistent with, because that's you just now coming. And when you first get to them, the only officer that's even in
There's two officers to my left.
Right, but those officers were never up
but
there.
I don't know this.
But they're walking with you towards them.
I'm not watching.
I
am not watching. I'm watching two people coming toward me.
Right, but are you saying that one of those two officers who are walking with you in that direction towards them are the one who never encountered them
I'm
up
not
there?
saying anything. I'm just saying there were a lot of people around.
Right.
And I'm watching two people coming toward me. All I know is some officers called for a supervisor. That's all I know.
Right.
And then when everybody catches up, I'm like, what's going on? These guys asked to be arrested.
Wait a minute. You're saying that when they came up, the police said these guys asked to be arrested?
Yeah. I go, are they under arrest? They go, yeah. And I'm like, why aren't they cuffed?
But they didn't tell you what they would be arrested for, just per the complaint's request.
It was very short. It was very short. These guys are known agitators. We didn't know this at the time, but this is what they do. They have a website. Have you seen it?
Right, but
the Chardon Times. They do this all over, everywhere.
Do what?
They bait policemen. They sit there and then they motherfuck them and they say, I have a right to be here, blah, blah, blah. So as I understand this, once we got down to the van, once these guys were cuffed and we had their property and we walked down to the prisoner van, that's when they said, we're going to sue you, you have no right, U.S. code, blah, 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 and they're throwing all this legal stuff, which in my interpretation is why Bush called for a boss in the first place.
No.
Because once they start, throwing out U.S. codes. Your average officer doesn't understand that.
We don't have.
Finally, the detectives asked the crucial question, whether the captain had instructed his officers to mute their body cam. Surprisingly, he outright refuted it.
He said he called for a boss because the complainants requested a boss because they felt they were in their rights, and they were hoping that a boss would clarify it because they felt that these officers did not know the law that permits them to do the conduct they're doing. So that's why they called for a supervisor. And Bush, that's his statement, that he called per their request, not for because he had an issue or because he felt it was over once they finally left the scene, as you saw. Did you, 4 o'clock, at any time, did you order any officers who were working this detail to not activate their WCS?
No.
You never ordered anyone to do that?
No. Tony Tomorrow had his on.
Right. He's the only one did, and he said the reason why he had his on, he wasn't assigned to that detail. He works, I guess, community policing that's already working the Little Italy area. Is that correct? And so he's the only one who had his on. That's the only reason we got this.
No, there
Except
were.
for the only other officers who had theirs on were the officers who transported them, who was Officer Turner and Love. And in their IA interviews, Patrol Officer Bush, Patrol Officer Anderson, Dominique Anderson, badge number 1753. Patrol Officer Scott Carey, badge number 2400. Patrol Officer Richard DeVelchio Jr., badge number 1278. Patrol Officer Musina, Patrol Officer Wright, Patrol Officer Cody Dorner, badge number 269. They all stated in their IA interviews that you ordered them not to activate their WCS camera. In fact, Officer Carey,
The corrupt officer has no place in the department, and it is cops like him who tarnish the entire force's reputation. Now watch as he shamelessly denies any involvement and shows no remorse for his actions.
every officer said they were ordered by Captain DeZuba to to not activate their WCS. Each and every one of them. And none of them had their WCS on.
Well, can he
And I asked
to
him, yeah, he'd already answered it. He said he didn't issue that order.
Did you ever meet anybody getting off the bus? I mean, were
And
you
some-
present when they
No.
get off a bus?
And some said during this arrest, they were told, don't go on.
Okay. Did you ever tell
No.
them during the arrest, don't
So
turn
those
your
officers,
camera on?
again, those officers who made those statements during their IA interviews, they're mistaken or lying about you issuing that order?
I can't tell you why they said what they said. Well, I was standing next to, I believe, Kozar and Tomorrow. Tomorrow had his video on.
Right, he's the only one.
If I had said anything during the arrest, it would be on Tony's video.
Well-
If I said, don't turn your videos on, Tony would have shut his off.
And just like that, the interrogation ended. But shockingly, none of the officers, including Captain DeZuba, faced any serious consequences. They all kept their jobs. However, the brothers filed a lawsuit against the officers and the city, which eventually settled for about $66,000, which is peanuts compared to the abuse they endured. It is a clear example of how broken internal investigations can be, and how even with overwhelming evidence, police often protect their own. Now, while this officer walked away from his corruption, the next female officer was instantly arrested for breaking the law.
Is your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance?
I'm a Pinellas County deputy.
Okay.
And my driver's license is...
Huh?
I'm a Pinellas County deputy.
Okay. Do you have your license, registration? No? You don't? Do you have your ID on you? Any weapons on you?
No.
Okay.
Well, I'm a deputy, but
Well, that's why I'm asking. Do you have any weapons on you?
I live right there.
Okay.
I would normally, but my ID is not here. But I'm a Pinellas County deputy.
Well, it was made abundantly clear that she was a Pinellas County deputy, Shelby Elise Coniglio, who was hoping that the officer would let her go simply because of her badge.
At this point, you were going like 56 and a 40. You were flying.
No, I was not flying. I was just.
Do you have your
going...
registration with your name on it or anything?
Well, this car is not mine, so.
Okay. Do you have anything with your name on it? Hi.
So sorry.
You're fine.
I put the wrong one.
How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Yeah.
What's going on tonight?
I have no idea. I'm trying to get home.
Oh, okay. Do you know why she pulled you over?
She said because I'm driving too fast.
Oh, okay.
But I'm a Pinellas County deputy, and I'm just trying to get to my house, which is right there.
Gotcha.
Deputy Caniglio was not only speeding, but it was obvious that she had a little too much to drink earlier. To make matters worse, she started flirting with a male officer.
No, you're good.
I'm good?
Like, you don't have to step out right now.
Well, there's like 5 people now.
She said you were a deputy?
Yes.
Where at?
Pinellas County Sheriff's Office.
Oh, you're with SL, nice.
Yeah.
How long you been with them?
5 years. I mean, I could get out, I could get in. I mean, you could come in.
No, you're good right now.
Listen, I'm
You're
just
good.
trying to. I don't know. Whatever you guys want to do, whatever it
you're
is.
good.
I live at that light right there.
Gotcha.
So if you want to hang out, if you don't want to hang out, Espanol, but
Where from?
wait.
So you're Spanish?
Yeah,
From where?
you say where?
Mm-hmm.
Honey, you know you speak Spanish?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, pero way.
Ah, okay.
Despite Caniglio's attempts to be let off without consequences, Officer Higgins wasn't swayed. She calmly instructed her to step out of the vehicle and perform a set of field sobriety tests.
Alrighty. Go step out of the car for me a second. We're just going to talk over there, okay? Can you kill your front light? Okay, we're going to come over here. Just we're out of the road. Can you walk over? Are you able to walk over here?
Yeah, in the.
I just want to get on the
Right,
sidewalk so
so-
we're not. Okay, alright. Talking to you, I am getting some signs of impairment. Okay, can I check your eyes real quick?
Really? This is what we're gonna do right now?
I don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice.
No.
And you pulled me over for going.
The entitled officer refused to allow the officer's commands, still hoping her badge would grant her special privileges.
10 miles over the speed limit.
You were going more than 10 over the speed limit. And
Really?
it's not just speed, it's also how you were driving.
No.
Look,
10 miles over the speed limit.
I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, unfortunately, we're past that point. You understand my position? Alright. I want to give you every opportunity for you to show me that you're okay to drive. And I really hope that that's the results we get, okay? But at this point, I can't just look the other way.
That's where you're at right now?
Can I check your eyes real quick?
This is how you're doing it? Really?
Yeah.
Officer Higgins and the off-duty deputy went back and forth before the entitled cop finally agreed to perform the field sobriety test, starting with the eye test, which would soon reveal the truth.
Are you wearing contacts right now, you said?
I am wearing contact lenses and I cannot take them out.
That's fine. Do you have blindness in either eye?
I don't know.
I mean, can you see this light?
Yeah.
Okay. All I have you do is just stand with your feet together and arms down at your sides. So what I'm going to do is follow this red light with your eyes. Oh, careful.
That is-
light with your eyes. Oh, careful.
That is.
Okay. Keep following with your eyes.
It's too far away.
Just follow it as far as you can go.
It's too far away.
Your eyes are drifting. You're not focusing on the pen. I just need you to focus on the pen, okay?
The deputy seemed to have forgotten all of the protocols for a field sobriety test, which made it hard to imagine how she performed as an officer.
Street deputy or detention?
No, I am a deputy, Pinellas County. I'm a patrol officer.
I'm pretty sure that's not what she wants to do.
So, in the sense of being a deputy, with her doing this, what are your thoughts?
What do you mean?
In the fact of me acing this or not, it doesn't matter, right?
No, I mean, that's the point of this, right? If you don't show signs of impairment while you do it, better for you. That's why we give you that option.
If Miss Caniglio hasn't already shocked you, get ready to witness the most disastrous walk-and-turn performance you have ever seen.
Need help?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I'm going to do small heel-to-toe steps. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Alright. So for this next test, you can disregard the line. We're not going to use it.
Although it was clear she was impaired, Officer Higgins followed protocol and conducted one final test before arresting her.
1001, 1002.
Look down at your feet.
1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010.
Up to you.
Oh, now I forgot which
And now
one.
you may stop.
Oh,
That'll conclude our field sobriety test.
sorry. I miscounted wins.
Got a bug in my nose.
Huh?
The bug just flew
The
in my
bugs.
nose.
You have to get in the... If you're in the grass, you're going to get the bugs.
Alright. I want to ask you some questions about, tonight. I have to read you your rights first, okay? Just because they're specific questions. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand these rights as I read them to you?
Yes.
Having them in mind, do you want to talk to me now? Sure. Okay. So where are you coming from tonight? Do you remember
A place where you can buy like light pieces for your apartment.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Do you remember what it's called?
I don't remember. But you can buy a couple pieces there.
Where else did we go? Do you remember a couple pieces of what? You're saying that
Like fixtures
okay.
for apartment complexes.
Okay.
But it's
like lamps?
Yeah, lamps. Lamps. There were a lot of dogs there.
Remember where else you went?
No, we were just trying to piece furniture together.
What time is it right now without looking, if you had to guess?
12 o'clock.
How much do you have to drink while you were down there?
I didn't have anything to drink.
Okay. Here's the thing. We both know you've been drinking. Okay. How much did you have? Okay, so why do you smell like alcohol?
I do not smell like alcohol. I smell like pigment.
That's not pigment. That's very strong alcohol.
Caniglio was eventually handcuffed and taken to the police station to be tested for alcohol.
Well, I know that.
Huh?
It's not my car.
I know.
It's really nice.
It's new.
Yeah, it's pretty. And
Your keys are in the car. Believe that your phone and your wallet. And there's like a key inside your
car.
Your wallet. I don't know what that's to, but that's with your stuff still.
It's with my stuff or it's with my wallet?
You had like a house key inside your wallet?
Yes.
Yeah, that's still with your stuff. Whatever keys were on your keychain went with the car.
Wait, so you guys have to go to your precinct and then you have to all the way go over to 49th?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was truly bizarre to see an entitled cop like Coniglio, and her blood alcohol content was recorded at 0.206 and 0.219%. She was charged with 1 count of DUI and transported to the Pinellas County Jail. She was also subsequently fired from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office immediately. Surprisingly, this wasn't the last time that a cop was caught drunk, as this guy was even worse.
He has that bottle of vodka in the vehicle that we observed.
Is it open?
Yeah.
Okay.
On November 16th, 2022, Indianapolis Police Sergeant Peter Fex crashed into another car while driving under the influence. Shortly after, a couple of officers arrived at the scene to investigate the incident.
Crash-wise, what happened?
He rolled up to this truck. He said, he was parked. They came up on him and passed out.
Okay, so he didn't hit anything.
Well, we don't know if it's damage. He hit the front bumper, he hit the rear bumper of that truck. But I can't see it. I guess. So he pulls it out, it's rubber on rubber.
Yeah, you can see it's bent in.
Okay. And that's what
This is going to be a 31, 17 times.
626 revive.
This is going to be a 31, 17 in time, straight for Unit 1.
What's up?
Indiana, it'll be University plate. Queen Tom 3663. Queen Tom 3663. Indiana, be the University plate.
Okay, you've got a lot of them in your mind. Can you revise?
Union Queen 3663. Union Queen, correction, Queen Tom 3663. Queen Tom 3663. We should. Is there anybody else in his car? Just him?
A state trooper had already arrested Fex moments after the horrific accident, and an arriving sergeant went over to talk to him about it.
So who was the one that rolled up on him?
Which one you guys rolled up on?
This gentleman right here? Were you the one that rolled up on him?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give me a statement about it? Briefly, what happened though? What did you see?
So we're checking for spots over here where you roll up on him and he has his car on. He slumped over. We knocked on the window and he just wasn't waking up.
Okay.
Refusing to get out of the car and all that. So, and then obviously he smelled alcohol. So,
Did he make any statements to you, anything like that?
no, he couldn't talk. He was like just mumbling.
He's mumbled?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get to see his eyes, anything like that?
I just smelled it.
Okay, was there anything in the vehicle? Like you see like on the floorboard and the set kind of holder?
He has that bottle of vodka in the vehicle that we observed.
Is it open?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was evident from the trooper's statement that Sergeant Fex had a rough night and had been drinking heavily. The trooper also noted that Fex had a bottle of vodka with him and remained uncooperative throughout the investigation.
He had a bottle of vodka next to him?
Yeah, it was right next to him. Yeah.
Okay, in the seat.
Kind of like it's big enough where it covered the seat and like floor.
I see what you're saying.
I saw cans, but I don't think that's alcohol. I think it's like energy drinks or whatnot.
Okay. I'll figure it out in a minute. He's in that vehicle?
Yeah. That's our guy on duty, like normal duty. Yeah. Because we're doing the event. Did you need OH3s from us? We're the ones that discovered it.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. If you could write me out something on there and then contact information for you all and who you are so I can get in touch with you about it. All right?
Okay.
All right, now be right back.
Eventually, the sergeant went to the police cruiser, where Fex was seated, handcuffed. What followed was shocking, as Fex displayed a stunning level of entitlement and unacceptable behavior throughout the ordeal.
Well, I gotta get a little bit of information.
You just gonna come with me.
I'm not trying to be, I'm not.
All right,
it's fine. It's fine.
All right, man. I'm Trooper Garner. How's it going? All right, you're gonna come out here with me. You're gonna have a seat in my car, okay? I'm gonna talk to you. All right.
No, my wife's.
1866.
What's going on tonight? Step out here with me. We're gonna have a seat in my car, okay? I'm gonna talk to you.
Hey, brother, talk to him so he can
come on, man.
Do as much as he can.
You have my phone.
Yeah, we got it. No.
Fex's behavior was painful to deal with, and despite being treated with leniency, having his cuffs positioned in front for comfort, he continued to cause disruptions and act uncooperatively. That is when the sergeant made it clear that he wouldn't be spared if he let go of the attitude.
Let him talk to you in his car.
That's all we need.
No, I need you to step out.
Come on.
Come on.
No?
Yes.
Hey, bud.
Look.
We talked about this earlier.
I'm gonna tell you.
When you got here, you were going to cooperate with him. I know you wasn't with me, but you're going to with him.
I don't want to take you to jail tonight. Okay.
And we told you that.
But if you're going to push my buttons, we'll go straight to jail. I'm not kidding with you, okay? I understand what's going on. I can smell it come from your breath. I already know what's going on.
I'm not pushing buttons.
You're starting to push my buttons already. If you're going to be compliant, be compliant. If not, we can go to jail.
Sir.
And you can figure it out later. Okay? I'm trying to be polite with you. But you're not wanting to look me in the eye. You're not even wanting to speak to me. Ask you your name, you just look down. Okay?
Peter Fegus.
Peter Fegus?
Fegus.
Fegus.
Yep.
Okay, I'm Trooper Gardner.
Yes.
I'm Trooper Gardner. I'm going to have you step out with me. We're going to go back to my patrol car, okay? So please step out.
Ultimately, Fex decided to step out of the vehicle and follow the sergeant, who instructed him to start the field sobriety test, which started with the eye test.
Because I can have them transport you to jail, and I can just meet them there. It doesn't matter to me, okay? So would you like to step out now? Come on, man.
Stick with him.
Just work
Stick
with
with him. Stick with him.
Just work with me, okay? All right, step out, man. Need help?
Yeah, I'm good.
Alright, glasses. Stop here for a minute. Alright, I'm gonna take a look at your eyes. Is that alright? Something you're wanting to do? No?
I'm sorry?
I'm gonna take a look at your eyes. Is that okay? Is that something you're wanting to do? Okay, well, I'm gonna put your feet together for me. Alright. See the tip of my pen?
Okay,
Is it something you're willing to do? Hey, look, predicated on whether or not you take any tests or anything is not how I determine.
Yeah, but these are SFSTs.
Correct.
Right.
I'm going to explain it to you real quick, okay? Whether or not you refuse it is not predicated on whether or not you go to jail. Your attitude determines that with me, okay? I'll be upfront with you. As long as you're polite and cooperative, I'll work with you to get you home, okay? But if you're gonna be a pain to me,
I'm not being a pain.
Let me finish. If you're gonna be a pain about stuff and not let me do my job, we'll just go to jail and I'll solve the problem for myself. That's how I do it, okay? So if you don't want to take this, you don't have to. You know that legally, as the rest of us do here. I have to offer it to you. I have to try to do what I can do, okay?
Fex wasn't above the law. When he refused to complete any further test, it became clear that his night would end in handcuffs and legal consequences.
Clearly see that you've been drinking. I can smell it on your breath.
Okay.
All right, I can see you ready to have bloodshot and glassy eyes. If not, you're slumped over the wheel. I'm just trying to do my due diligence and check. You don't have to, but if you do, that's all I'm trying to do. So it's entirely up to you whether or not that's something you want to do. Okay? It's entirely up to you. I'm asking. Is that something you want to do or no? No? Okay. So here's a, do you have problems with your shoulders or anything? No. Do what? No. Okay. Because you're cuffed in the front, I know you're a bigger guy, probably have a hard time trying to get behind your back. No. I'm going to have my cuffs on you instead, so I can give this gentleman back his, okay? And I'll say the other way. Other way. I don't know. Other way. And have your palm facing in. Oh, it's stuck. There you go. If you clap your hands together, it's going to be a lot less tension. Is what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, no, I know.
Got a tough key on you.
The sergeant removed Feck's cuffs, swapped them with his own, and returned the trooper's cuffs to him before taking him to the police station.
Have we located the owner of the other car?
Did they make an announcement? Did she say she was an announcement? Okay. Well, see what she did.
All right.
Ask her about it.
We gotta find the owner of the other car and everything else. Alright, do you have anything on you I gotta worry about?
Some officers act without thinking, and this bully was no exception, ultimately destroying his career.
The U.S. Constitution gives the public the right to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Every member of the council took a solemn oath to uphold the Constitution. I'm holding up a copy of the Constitution to remind you of that oath.
President Nitish Patel felt that displaying the Constitution was wrong, and if you think this was bad, wait till you see what he does next.
I have to ask the police to remove you. I'm sorry.
If you're going to continue interfering with the decorum of the meeting, then you should be removed.
Wait, Council President.
Kick them out. I'm trying to continue a statement that I have a lawful and constitutional right to make.
Officer. Council President.
We have not
You
passed
took
the ordinance yet.
an oath to the U.S. Constitution, which includes
You are not recognized.
a right of free
You are.
speech.
He is in violation. He can be removed. Thank you. He is in violation. He can be removed. Thank you.
Break your oath to the Constitution. Excuse me, sir.
So we are not passed the ordinance yet.
Point of order.
Yes.
Okay.
I will allow Councilman Brusher to address it.
My question was, since we didn't pass the ordinance, it's
Shame on
technically
you.
not a...
Imagine being removed from a town hall just to display the Constitution. The council members should be ashamed, and after the online protest, Nitish Patel apologized. However, his apology seemed insincere, so First Amendment auditor Sean Paul Reyes decided to confront him by taking the stage.
Changing how we normally do it, because normally they come up and speak. We answer their questions, and now you're changing
That's a good
it
man
again.
right there.
You're very. If you're going to do that, I'm going to say you're inconsistent and irresponsible and reckless, and that is what has led to this meeting.
Sir, the
no,
point
that
of
was a statement. I asked you. I just said if you're going to change the meeting format again over and over, you're irresponsible and reckless.
Yeah.
Moving on to Ben Frank. Name and
Moving on to
address.
Frank.
Name and address.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sean Paul
You
Reyes. I'm
recognize.
an independent journalist and constitutional activist. I came here today to speak directly to Mayor Sam Joshi. I see the mayor isn't here tonight, which is unfortunate. You think the so-called leader of the township would be here, but I guess he is hiding in shame. No worries, though. I will be sure to send him the link to this video.
Now, Sean was right on point, and he also directed his frustration towards Mayor Sam Joshi, who was accused of sexual assault and didn't even care to be present at the meeting.
So you can take a look. So I was going to say some other things. I'll get to that. Your apology was really weak. You know, it wasn't a misunderstanding. You got called out by the mainstream media for violating the First Amendment, for being unpatriotic, from trying to control people. This has nothing to do with decorum. You see all these people here today with their flags. Decorum has not been interrupted in any single way. You wanted to control, all of you want to control, most of you wanted to control what we the people do while we're standing at the podium, because it's about control, it's about power. Nothing to do with a misunderstanding, props, or anything else. What if I had a Bible in my hand? What if I had a cross in my hand?
It is great to see people still caring about the First Amendment, and it turns out they didn't only ban the Constitution, but they also banned the American flag.
So we'll let the courts decide with that. But again, I thought your apology was, lackluster to say the least. I've seen a lot of tyranny and corruption, but to ban the U.S. flag and Constitution is something I've never seen or heard of before. This is why I decided to come here tonight from Long Island, New York, and show my big, beautiful American flag. And I was told by somebody in the media that you didn't ban the flag, you just banned the waving of the flag. So I'll do that too, just in case. But you definitely walked everything back. What's going on here in Edison is completely pathetic and tyrannical. It makes complete sense though, seeing as your mayor, Sam Joshi, has been accused of pay-to-play corruption and sexual assault, which all of you have been made aware of. And have done nothing about. My friend and fellow activist Leroy Truth is going to go into specifics on the assault allegations as he interviewed the victim of the mayor.
Sean proceeded to end his speech by uncovering more shocking facts about the corrupt mayor. He also took the president Nitish to the cleaners as he had nothing more to say.
That's how it started and what got the national media attention. But when independent journalists started to look closer, we found so much more. This is about ousting Mayor Sam Joshi, who is tyrannical, corrupt, and by all accounts a sexual deviant, which is why I will be supporting Councilman Richard Brescher for mayor. I have spoken to the councilman and he has assured me that he will bring about positive change here in Edison. I look forward to him winning the election and evicting Sam Joshi. United, we the people are strong and will take back our government. Thank you for your time. Lackluster apology, do better. Thank you.
Next, activist and auditor Leroy Truth took the stand and delivered a powerful speech, this time targeting the mayor and highlighting how he had sexually assaulted a girl.
I'm Leroy Truth of Leroy Truth Investigations, and I encourage you to all subscribe to my channel, Leroy Truth Investigations, on YouTube and Facebook. Now, first of all, we're here because of this man right here, and Christo. He has been relentlessly speaking truth to corruption. So I want to acknowledge you, and that's why I'm here, that's why Long Island Audit is here, and that's why everyone is here. Thank you for what you do. Now, the flag is the least of your worries. It's the most vile thing a man can do to a woman. I am here because a woman came forward to me. She came forward to me and she had a story. I'm going to read you her story. I interviewed her yesterday along with the extraordinary Richard Brescher, councilman here, who I'm also supporting for mayor.
Leroy, deeply passionate about the issue and determined to bring justice to the victim, was ready to expose the corrupt mayor who had abused his authority.
This story is vile, and Sam Joshi, who is the coward as always, he doesn't come to these meetings, he is accused of anally raping a woman. He can't be in office for 1 second more, yet none of you, except Richard Brescher, has done an investigation as to what went on. This vile story begins during the COVID-19 lockdowns. A man in his mid-30s, the mayor of Edison, New Jersey, befriended a woman through Facebook who was 25 years his senior, old enough to be his mother. That man is called Mayor Sam Joshi. Over time, their conversations grew more frequent on Facebook, and he earned her trust. One day, Mayor Sam, during the middle of the pandemic, in the midst of the severe lockdowns, broke the law and invited the woman to his home. She declined, reminding him of the lockdowns and his responsibility as mayor to enforce them. He insisted, "It's okay, I'm the mayor."
Shockingly, Mayor Sam Joshi continues to stay in office despite this shocking claim against him. Keep watching as Leroy reveals the brutality behind it all.
Months later, he invited her again. By this point, she believed him to be a friend and had heard from others in Edison that he was gay, which is all good. Feeling no threat, she decided to accept his invitation into his home. When she arrived at his gated community condominium, Mayor Sam began making drinks for her. Different concoctions, one after another. Some tasted off. She didn't think much of it at first, but after several drinks, she began to feel extraordinarily ill. "Please don't let me die," she begged Mayor Sam Joshi. She was that ill. She was terrified But instead of calling 911 or taking her to the emergency room, Mayor Sam Joshi did the unthinkable. As this woman lay on a bed trying to stop the room from spinning and from vomiting continuously, he raped her, according to this woman.
It's just shocking and sad to realize how this woman was sexually assaulted, and she couldn't even file a complaint due to the influential position of the mayor. This crooked system definitely needs some changing.
He treated her aggressively. This is your mayor that you love to take photo ops with and support. He ended her aggressively, she said, without her consent and with no regard for her or her condition. What kind of man does this, she thought? What kind of man raped a woman who is vomiting so violently she thinks she might die? But Governor Murphy loves Mayor Sam Joshi as well. After the assault, she expected him to show remorse to apologize, but he did not. Determined to seek justice, she filed a police report. But instead of action, she faced a system designed to protect the powerful. And I'm ashamed of all the women on here who should absolutely have been protecting her if the men wouldn't. To the people of Edison, New Jersey and beyond, this woman's story demands action. Mayor Sam Joshi must be held accountable and must be investigated immediately upon the conclusion of this meeting. Woman who is incapacitated, vomiting, and begging for her life and for help isn't just criminal, it's the behavior of a sexual predator.
Eventually, Joe Bassoff attended the meeting and approached the president just a week after being removed from the building by the tyrant.
Address and
Joel Bassoff, Edison.
you're recognized.
So, Mr. President, I personally know what it feels like to be expelled from the municipal building. On your orders, the police removed me from the podium twice, once for referring to a copy of the Constitution that I held up in my hand, and then referring to an American flag that I held in my hand. The second time, you had the police eject me from the chamber and ask me to leave the building. Nobody who was watching the meeting on Edison TV could see what was happening because someone ordered Edison TV not to show the podium anymore. You and the mayor don't want the viewing public to get a full picture of what happens here because you feel threatened by transparency.
Now, not only should President Nitish be ashamed of removing Joe from the building, but the police officers who followed this unlawful and unconstitutional order must also learn to stand against such action.
And by the way, now that I've called your attention to that flag, I hope we still have decorum in the room. Except if you do look at that flag, you're no longer focused on the speaker at the podium. So I'll hold up the flag to make it easier to get your attention. Well, here's what I'll do. I'm holding up a picture of the Great Seal of Edison, okay? It says, our motto, let there be light. That indicates that we're supposed to be enlightened here. We're supposed to shed light on things. And one of the ways of shedding light on things is broadcasting what happens at these meetings. If you don't broadcast the full extent of what goes on at this meeting, you're not letting there be light. You're casting a good portion of the township in darkness.
Bassoff made some powerful points, returning the favor to the tyrant president who had removed him earlier. Finally, before the meeting ended, the Patriots shared a beautiful moment to honor and cherish the Constitution.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming high that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner that wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
While President Nitish was humbled and owned immediately, Mayor Sam Joshi remains untouched, and we can only hope that he gets tried for his horrible crime and that this poor woman gets the justice that she deserves. Now, moving on, we have a group of tyrants who had no clue about the First Amendment and were educated.
Private property. You can't.
That's private property. Come here.
You can't.
Come here, Sergeant.
You can't take a picture.
Come here, Sergeant. Come here.
Come here. I'm good.
What it says over here?
The outside, if you like.
What does it say?
In February of 2024, a First Amendment auditor was filming the streets when he came outside a police department and started filming some police cruisers that were parked outside of it.
Hey, what are you doing?
Who are you?
Huh?
Who are you?
I don't know. What are you doing?
You don't know who?
Are you taking close-up pictures of the inside of the car? You can't do that, okay?
Says who?
Says me.
Who are you?
I don't know.
Well then,
Hey,
get lost.
You cannot be taking pictures of the inside of these cars.
Watch me.
You cannot be taking pictures of the inside of the cars.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
You come over here all big tough guy?
Hey, you can't be taking pictures inside.
Says who?
Says me. It's a police car, okay?
And you, who are you?
I'm a sergeant, okay? I'm a supervisor.
Yeah?
Okay, yeah.
And
you can't be here.
And
doing
you can
that.
get lost.
It doesn't work that way, my friend.
How does that work?
Hey.
The officers certainly had no clue about public photography, and their intimidation was about to get worse as they escalated the situation.
You're gonna get in my face like this?
Go find something else.
You think you're gonna intimidate me?
Who's intimidating you, man?
Then what's the problem?
I don't know. I'm wondering what the problem is with you.
You came over here all tough guy.
I'm wondering what the problem is with you. Because
there was no problem. What am I doing?
You can't be taking pictures of the inside.
Says who?
Says me.
What law?
I don't know.
Exactly. So get lost, tough guy.
That doesn't work that way.
Well, how's it gonna work? Why don't you call your bobbies over here? Why don't you call your lieutenant?
No.
Other sergeants?
You show me out in front of the precinct with
Yeah?
taking some pictures of inside of the police car.
Dumb guy.
I'll take it.
What a dumb guy. Taking pictures of the inside of the vehicles that are public property. I'm on a public sidewalk taking pictures of everything that is open, visible from my eyes, okay? Which is First Amendment protected activity, and the tough guy shows up here and tells me I can't take pictures.
Seeing the auditor having more knowledge of the law than him, the sergeant proceeded to call for backup.
Taking pictures of the inside of the car is
You too? You want to get on my case too about taking pictures?
I'll be out at
Watson?
Dude.
And you?
Dude.
Words? Edwards?
Yes.
Something like that.
Okay. What are you doing taking pictures of the
What am I doing taking pictures? What's the problem taking pictures?
of the inside of the vehicles in the computer?
What law is that? What am I breaking?
I don't know. That's called private property. You can't.
That's private property? Come here.
You can't.
Come here, Sergeant.
You can't take a picture.
Come here, Sergeant. Come here.
Come here. I'm good.
What it says over here?
The outside, if you like.
What does it say?
I don't know.
What does it say?
Tell me.
You don't know how to read? Any of you guys know how to read?
What's your goal, sir? What do you need today?
I was minding my own business. This guy comes over here, gets in my face, and gives me unlawful directives.
It is shocking that cops are not aware of public property in 2024. You wonder where these tyrants are getting their training.
Sir, can you understand why we may be...
I don't need to understand anything.
Well, I'm going to explain why he was concerned.
Why?
So we could be concerned that somebody is targeting our police vehicles or is looking inside there to see confidential information on the screen or in other things.
Okay.
So this is a reasonable...
Whose responsibility to protect confidential information? Whose responsibility?
It's reasonable
Great.
to ask.
Is it your responsibility to protect confidential information?
Sir.
Exactly. Exactly. So next time when a law-abiding citizen inspects his own property, and you're my servant, that's my property. Everything that's on you, my property, except your personal effects. This building, my property. This vehicle, my property. You all, you, every one of you work for me. I tell you what to do, I tell you how to do it, I pay your wages. That's right.
At this point, it was only the officer's stubborn egos preventing the individual from being released. The auditor was truly making a mockery of these cops.
So when you get on my case, being a law-abiding citizen, quiet, I'm not talking to you.
Okay.
Quiet. When I'm a law-abiding citizen and you get in my face and you start threatening me and you call your bobbies out here, assuming that I'm a criminal because you intend to do something against me, guess what?
What are you going to do?
You're going to get a piece of my action.
What are you going to do?
My freedom of speech.
All of us have a lot of things we need to
Get back to your job. I didn't call you. I didn't call you.
We're here until
Who called you?
are not here. So
Who
what's
called
going
you?
on? What do you want?
Who called you?
Your
Who called you?
Your scene, your level of engagement is going to make the police be here. And I do think that's your goal. I literally think what you are doing is trying to create a scene to get police attention.
Ask her. Ask her. I was walking down. I was walking on the sidewalk. I was walking on the sidewalk very quietly
on a YouTube channel.
Whatever you think.
So whatever your
I don't
goals
care
are,
what you think.
I want you to know very clearly, sir.
Finally, after realizing that they were no match for the auditor, they decided to leave him alone as they headed back to the police station.
Here's how you can end this.
So I think that's important.
This is how you can end this.
What do you need?
Go back to your job and mind your own damn business.
You need to not point your camera inside of police vehicles and record information off of our computers.
According to whom?
Don't do it.
According to whom?
That's it.
According to whom?
Sir.
What law is that?
Okay.
What law is that? Give me an ORS code that tells me that I am not lawfully allowed to look at anything that my eyes can see on a public sidewalk.
Okay.
What law is that?
We are going to leave, and we understand that you are not going to point inside of cameras.
Unless
and
I'm breaking the law,
computers.
you can take your orders
You stay
and
on
go to
public
hell
property.
with them.
You stay out of a roadway. You understand? You stay out of the roadway.
I'm protesting at this point, so I will stand wherever the hell I want.
Have a good day, sir.
Get lost. That's how you should have reacted in the first place.
The auditor continued recording for a few more minutes before calling it a day after teaching these tyrants a crucial lesson in law. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. Today we saw corrupt and clueless police officers held accountable for their actions. These officials ruin their careers in seconds and should be called out for it. We hope that justice catches up to them and they learn a thing or two about the law and the Constitution. If you agree with me, please support us by liking this video. Also, if you enjoyed this video, watch some of the most disturbing moments that have been caught on police body cam.
There is a child. He's bleeding all over the place.